Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video, I want to talk about the props that I use for my Phoenix 920 Elite. And this really covers also like the 921 Elite. So pretty much all the Phoenixes that I've run, these are the props that I either carry, have installed on my boat as my primary, or I have as a spare prop, or I've got as a spare of a spare in the back of my truck. When I go to a tournament, I usually have at least 3 props. Sometimes I'll bring, an extra 1 or 2 on top of those, that third one, just so I can, help a buddy out if they need a prop at an event. If I'm going to like Sam Rayburn, someplace where there's lots of stumps, or like a Santee Cooper or something like that, usually somebody's going to need a prop at some point in time. But anyways, the 3 that I want to talk about, one I don't have with me. I just ended up selling this last one, but I'll talk about it anyways. And then the other 2 are, I've got one that's a really good all-around prop for my 920 Elite, and then I've got one that is kind of specialized for certain conditions. So let's get into the first prop. So with these new Mercury Pro XS's, the 250s, the 4-stroke V8s that we've got nowadays, usually they like the smaller pitches, so like 23 and 24. I don't go above 24 pitch with any of my props. I find that the hole shot is just terrible after that. For these boats, there are some boats, I see a lot of guys that are still running 25s like they did with the 2-stroke engines, and that's what their boat likes. So you really have to pick a prop not just based on the engine that you're using, but based on the boat. It's almost more important what hole you're running. But for the Phoenixes that I've run, it seems like a 3-blade Fury, and excuse how dirty these are, they've kind of been sitting around for a bit. 3-blade Fury in either 23 pitch or 24 seems to get the job done most of the time. Switching from Phoenix, or from Nitro over to Phoenix, that was one thing that was super surprising, is that one of the other props that I'm going to talk about next used to be a really good choice for more situations than with the Phoenix. The 3-blade prop in 23 and 24 pitch, that seems to be a really good all-around prop. Even in rough water, it's pretty solid. And it's definitely going to be the one that gets you the most speed that I've found. Obviously, there's some guys that are way more, in tune with everything. They've tested more props than I have, and maybe they've got, a prop shop that they work closely with to really optimize things. But for me, it's all about the 3-blade Fury for speed, overall handling, and all that stuff. So this is the one that usually you're going to find installed on your boat right off the bat. Between the 2 pitches, I prefer the 23. The 24 seems to get just a little bit more speed, top-end speed out of the boat, but the 23, the hole shot is so good. It's so quick. The 24 is definitely a little bit more sluggish, at least with my boat, and I'm really only gaining maybe 3/4 to a full mile per hour more with the 24 pitch, but the hole shot's bad. So especially if I'm in a shallow fishery where I need to get up on plane quick, and I can't I can't be like just digging into the bottom. I want to get a really, really fast hole shot, and especially with all the heavy equipment we've got on here. Myself, I'm pretty heavy equipment, and then full live wells, full gas tank. You want to get on plane quick. You don't want to be you don't want to be dragging that rear end for too long. So 23 seems to be the all-around best prop for these Phoenix boats, that the 920 Elite and the 921. Those are the ones that I can speak to because I haven't used any of the other holes. So just keep that in mind. All right, so the next prop is my rough water prop. So my rough water and potentially rough water prop. So I'm going to like a Great Lake or Lake Champlain or something like that. This is going to be a really, really good option. Yes, the 3-blade prop does extremely well. If I really fully expect to have real calm weather, the 3-blade's going to do just fine and get me there a lot faster. Maybe not a lot, but it'll get me there, you know, a couple mile an hour faster. But if I'm going to be in real rough water, I want a prop that's super responsive, gets me on plane quick, holds all that weight that these tournament bass boats have very well, lifts the hull out of the water with all that weight, and allows me to really navigate heavy waves very nimbly. That's where a 4-blade prop really excels. So the 4-blade Fury in the 24 pitch has been my just MVP when it comes to real rough water and big water. And usually what I'll do is I actually keep the 4-blade usually in my bilge area as my spare prop on the boat. That way, you know, if I got a rough water day coming up in a tournament, I can just take that one out, swap out the 23 pitch 3-blade Fury for that, and there you go. So I just kind of like rotate between those two based on the conditions that I'm fishing. I would say that I'm only using the 4-blade about 20% of the time, but that's just because I'm fishing really, really big water about 20% of the time. So like if I was a angler that primarily fishes Lake Erie or Lake Champlain or you know, St. Lawrence River or Sam Rayburn or something like that, the 4-blade Fury is a really, really good option for those situations. And you know, like I said, like when I was running the nitros, this was a really good prop. Made those boats run much better overall. But I'll be honest, on the Phoenix runs super good with both props, but surprisingly good with just the 3-blade too. But I still go between. You will notice the difference. 100% you will notice the difference in really rough water once you go from the 3-blade to a 4-blade Fury. So that is the second one that I carry with me. The third one, like I said, I don't have it right here, but usually I carry at least one of these, and a lot of times I'll carry it as my third prop in the back of the truck, is a 3-blade Tempest Plus. Tempest Plus was a prop that I used a long time ago on my first bass boat. I had a 150 Optimax on that on my first boat, my first real bass boat, and what a great prop that was, man. I've never spun an ear on one of those Tempest Plus. It's a very robust stainless steel prop. It's super strong. So the reason why I like a Tempest Plus still to this day is if I'm going to be fishing like a river system like the Mississippi River or someplace that is super shallow fishery that is really hazardous. There's lots of things that you could potentially hit, you know, bang up. I want a prop that's more robust, that is stronger, that can handle that beating a lot better because, you know, let's face it, you know, the whole point of the Fury line of props is to have a prop that is made of this alloy that allows the material to be thinner. But that's great for actual running, you know, top end speed and performance and things like that. But if you're banging it up, man, you know, you can really you know, put some good dents in these Fury props. But if you use a Tempest Plus, it's not indestructible by any means, but it can handle a beating a little bit more. That being said, you shouldn't be beating up your prop anyways, but I like to be prepared for if, you know, I don't know there's an obstruction or something like that. I am not in the business of beating up my equipment. I want to make sure that it's, you know, I protect my equipment. But I do like to have a good prop that can handle something in case I did run into, you know, a shallow shoal, rocky shoal or something that I didn't know was there, stumps, things like that. The great thing about a Tempest Plus is that it's still going to be a pretty fast prop. It's not going to necessarily be as fast as the Fury line, but it's still a good high performance prop, and it may be the best option for somebody that is fishing, you know, more lowland type of fisheries or tidal fisheries or something like that. If you live down in Louisiana, or you live, you know, on some other delta-like area, a Tempest Plus could be a really, really good option for you because of the durability factor overall. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to kind of lay out the props that I use on a regular basis and that I carry with me to every event that I go to. And these are the three, man. These are the only three that I really have had much success on my boats over the years. You know, there's some other props out there that I've had some people recommend to me, and I'm definitely going to do some research on them, like the Bravo series, you know, Ultramarine. The guys over there, Bassmaster Electronics and Ultramarine, man, they have been talking up those Bravos like crazy as far as just overall speed and performance. So I got to check those out. But these are the ones that are my old standbys, the trusty 3 props that I like to run on my bass boats. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. If you have a prop that I missed on this video that I need to give a shot, drop that in the comment section below. I definitely want to hear your opinion. Other than that, I'm going to see you out on the water. Trust the process.